Greetings, friends. Dr. Derrick Robinson here, teacher, writer, researcher, and owner of Myedvantage Career Consulting Services. I am here to offer you an opportunity to improve your academic writing, manage your work-life balance, and help you retool yourself for a competitive job market in higher education. In short, strategic, yet simple steps, you can acquire and master the hidden skills to improve your competitive position. Click the link below or go to www.myedvantage.org and discover the various courses we offer. I also have free content available on the website, and at the end of this short video, I have a special offer I want you to check out. Today we're going to talk about the skills, strategies, and secrets to writing stellar literature reviews. Whether you're writing for your dissertation or for peer-reviewed journal articles, mastering the process of writing literature reviews is of vital importance. With my strategy, you will become not only great at planning and writing literature reviews, but you can also be well on your way to becoming a literature specialist. I have a full course and coaching program that takes you all the way through the literature review process and also builds good habits of mind and skill sets that will give you a strategic advantage as a scholar. Today, I share with you 3 features of my program. I also will share with you a module of the program for free. I hope you're ready to jump in. I am Dr. Derrick Robinson from Myedvantage Career Consulting Services, and this is Mastering the Literature Review, from Skeptic to Success Story. Welcome to Mastering the Literature Review, from Skeptic to Success Story. I was once a skeptic. I found that when I started my program in group writing, which we did a lot of, very few people would volunteer to write the literature review, and generally it went to the person who chose last. Why? Generally because literature reviews are boring. Literature reviews are tough. And organizing a good literature review can be extremely hard. But things changed for me over time. Now, what changed? Essentially, 3 things changed for me. I had a professor of mine while I was in my doctoral program who taught me thematic analysis and qualitative research. And I was able to take some of those principles and apply it to my literature review practices. In addition to that, I had a colleague of mine who taught me a note carding system that he actually learned as a special education student in junior high and high school. And we lifted that process up into the doctoral practice and brought it into practice for our students. The last thing, it was a dissertation chair of mine and mentor who taught me, or rather forced me, to write detailed outlines with citations embedded within the outline. I combined each of what those people had given to me to create the strategy that I'm sharing with you today. While I teach an entire in-depth course on this topic, I want to share with you 3 main features of mastering a literature review, from skeptic to success story. The first, of course, is perfecting the literature search. You can't talk about or write about what you don't know. The second is developing article cards as a way of kind of keeping you organized as you begin to do your work. And this is an example of an article card set that I actually use for my literature reviews. And developing detailed outlines and blueprints with citations embedded is much of the way to doing great writing. Perfecting the literature search. I often have students come to me and tell me things like, Dr. Robinson, there's no literature on my topic. And while there can be some truth to that, literature is out there. You just have to know a few things. So in this section, I'd like to share with you 3 things that will help you in perfecting your literature search. 1 is word choice in your search. The second is knowing who needs to be in the discussion. And the third part is gathering your articles and when you reach your saturation point. So let's start. In choosing your words for your search, working with my students, I often have them come to me and tell me their words that they're using to search, and we'll get on the computer together and make this work out. But oftentimes we don't understand that when we choose a topic has components and subcomponents. So as you know your topic, it also is helpful to know the subcomponents of your topic as well. That way you're kind of scaffolding to construct your topic. Another trick to this is using the right synonyms and concepts, because oftentimes you'll search for one word, but maybe a lot of the literature uses a similar word in its place. For example, if I'm doing research on school leaders, I could say principals, I could say school leaders, I could say headmasters. There are many different ways you can change the topic, and it'll yield you different research results when you're actually looking for articles. So that's one thing. The second thing is knowing who needs to be in the discussion. Now, I'll give you 3 strategies for that. The first strategy is knowing the current scholars on your topic or subtopics. And by current scholars, what I mean is who has produced this work in the last 3 to 5 years. Now, you can go back 10 years if you wish, but chances are some of the work 10 years ago has been updated and conversations may have changed. So you want to be in the now. So knowing the current scholars is knowing the now scholars. In addition to that, who also needs to be at the table are the seminal scholars. Now, the seminal scholars are those who either coined the phrase or they've done it so well that their name is associated with the topic. So here, how do you know that? You know that 2 ways. One, you know that by talking to people in the field, and they'll tell you who the scholars are that you need to talk to or considering your research. The second part is reading. The more you read on the topic, the more you see certain names come up, you have to know this could be a seminal scholar. So if you've read 10 articles and you constantly see Robinson come up, then you know Robinson is a seminal scholar on the topic. Now, what do? You go down to their references and you pull the article that they referenced, and you begin to read on those and that particular scholar. And now you've dealt with building a database of information on a seminal scholar. The third strategy, and this is particularly if you're targeting a journal for publication, it helps to actually go and research the journal editors and the journal reviewers, because chances are they've written on a topic associated with yours. That's a great way to find out what they're writing about and include them in your work. And that adds to knowing who may possibly be reviewing your article. Now, some people may think that's a cheap way out, but nothing's more discouraging than to be on a journal review board and have a person talk about a concept you've written about extensively and never mention your name. Now, the third part of this is gathering articles. Now, how many articles should I gather? What's your saturation point? Well, 3 things. It depends on the field in the targeted journal. So before you start thinking about that, actually go to the targeted journal if you have one, or journals within your field, and start seeing how many journals that they reference, how many articles that they reference in their lit review search. You can do that by counting references. You can also do that by looking at the actual literature review. The second thing is, as a general research rule, and particularly in my field in education, is you're looking anywhere from about 30 to 60 articles. So those are kind of the sweet spot. There's no magic number, but more of a magic range. And last piece is during a dissertation lit review, you're looking for about 80 to 125 articles. I'm going to be honest with you. When my doc students come to me, I'm telling them 100 articles minimum. So when you dig deep into your topic, you scaffold your topic, and you know the components and subcomponents of your topic. This is not hard work, but it's definitely good work you want to consider. Developing article cards. This aspect of mastering the literature review was developed from a discussion with a colleague who shared with me a technique that was given to him while he was a special education student in middle school or high school. He's kept that practice from that time until today, where he's now an associate professor. When I saw what he did, I knew it was genius, and I immediately worked it into my literature review practice. I added a few extra things to make it my own, but it is now what we call the article cards. and they work masterfully. This is a core piece of this course. Now, what are article cards? Article cards are simply a method of strategic note-taking. It helps you target your readings, and also it helps you to code and order and use your article cards interchangeably, and then return them back to the original form when you're done. Now, there are cards and then there are card sets. An article card, and I'll show you, this is an example of an article card set or sets that have gone into making some research for me. Now, inside of here, I may have a set of cards, and each individual entry or paraphrased note is an individual index card, and that's a article card. A set is all of the cards that come from one article. So a card is an individual index card, but a set is a set of index cards that represent the notes from one particular article. Now, a card box or bag, as you see me use here, a card bag represents multiple article card sets stored by topic. So that is the purpose of them. That's how they break down. Now, what are their functionalities? Well, with an article card set, as opposed to doing annotated bibliographies or keeping good notes, what it allows you to do is integrate and match ideas from several authors at the same time. It also allows you, once you're done, because you've coded them a particular way, you can return them back to their original set and then store them, which gives you perpetual use. Once you've done an article, it's yours forever. Once you've done article boxes on topics, it's yours forever. You can always add to the topic by adding more articles in. And then when you need that particular topic, say, for example, I'm working on organizational culture and workplace conditions, I can go to each individual set and pull articles that I need and put them into a bag, and then go about doing my analysis and create my literature review. So what it enables you to do ultimately is the same thing we do in qualitative research. We do a thematic analysis. We develop elements, meaning units, and ultimately themes in our literature review. Now, what do you do with those themes? I'm glad you asked. Our next part talks about developing a detailed writing outline or blueprint. I said that funny, but blueprint. When I was writing my dissertation, my chair made me create a detailed outline with citations embedded in it. I had been reading and note-taking for months, but I had some shoulder issues, so it made it hard to do a lot of typing. So easily I got distracted, and ultimately, of course, I wrote nothing. I was ashamed to meet with him, actually. But when I did, he made me create this outline. And with that outline, I was able to complete my literature review in 2 weeks, and I had to tone it down to 64 pages. I wrote in chunks and I pieced it all together, but having that outline enabled me to actually write in parts where my energy was high, right? So there's 3 main parts to this. You're ordering by theme, meaning unit, and elements, so those are the levels. And if you think about an outline, each one becomes a level in the outline. And embedded citations, so I know exactly where to go grab that information from a card and utilize it in my writing. And then it makes it easy to write and cite, so that I eliminate certain issues with plagiarism or having one paragraph be monopolized by one author. I get away with all of that by being thoughtful about this process. So when you order by theme, what I'm simply saying is your themes contain applicable meaning units. Your meaning units contain multiple elements, and elements are where citations and string citations are included. When you embed your citations within your outline, what you're doing is creating an APA format practice that you can follow up later. In addition to that, I also use my card codes so I know exactly where to go to pull that particular card. And of course, that citation order is embedded in all of this. Make sure you're following APA so you're using it all correctly. And it just makes it easier to write. You write with parts where you have the energy. You don't have to always go from the very beginning, because as you all know, getting those first couple of words down are torture. But you write in parts where you have the energy for it. And it's easier to now involve string or multiple citations to support your argument, and it keeps your writing organized and focused. So here we are. We know that if you perfect the literature review search, create article cards, and construct detailed written outlines with citations embedded, you are 50% on the way to writing stellar literature reviews. In my full course, I take you through 10 modules designed to take you from topic development to proofing your work. In my coaching program, I work with you one-on-one through the entire literature review process. Writing a literature review does not have to be a draining and painful process anymore. With mastering the literature review, from skeptic to success story, you will develop a skill and strategy to last a lifetime. Friends, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to click the link below or visit www.myedvantage.org for more free content and access to valuable courses. Also, I have a special offer. If you sign up for any of the content courses or coaching sessions, use discount code EDVANTAGE10 for 10% off. Once again, thank you for checking out this video, and I look forward to sharing with you my educational advantage.